Sam, unmute. My girl Sam. Sam, what's good, girl? Sam, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's good, girl?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
What's good, girl? How's your week been?
So far, so good. Busy, but
That's what's up. Yeah.
you
I'm
know
about
how it
I'm
is.
about to start getting real busy at work starting next month. So but let's
Hmm.
get into it, Sam. Let's get into it. So Sam, is kissing more intimate than physical intimacy?
For me, no.
Real. Tell me why you feel that way, Sam.
I don't know. I don't know how, like, the correct, I don't know. I'm a kisser. So I like kissing people. I guess that's like the best way to put it. Like, I've always been into that.
Okay, but so Sam, like, listen, I know you were in like I know you were in a long like a long somewhat long-term relationship before
Hmm.
you've been single these past few years. But
Hmm.
even before you got into that relationship, Sam, like you was in college, you was at A&M, you was at College Station, outside with the girls doing your thing, you know meeting different guys every now and then. So Sam, you're telling me that even like back in those days, like when you was 21, 20, 22, if you were to have just like kind of like a casual encounter, if you will, that you would still want to kiss that person even though you don't have any sort of emotional tie to them at all, and you don't even plan to have any emotional ties to them after this encounter?
Absolutely.
Wow. Guys, people are so guys. See, this is why people are different. Like people are like
Yeah.
Sam. Like you've heard me say, like I like if I don't have like I like me personally, I see that as being more intimate than the actual physical activity, and because I feel that way, I do need to have some sort of a connection until to lip lock with somebody. If I don't, I'm not really interested in doing it, and I'm not going to do it. Like
So,
that's
have you never like gone out to like the club and been drinking and maybe you're feeling one girl throughout the night and you end up like making out with her?
Nope, I don't do that. Nope,
No
I don't do that.
way.
Never did it. Like, and I know what you're talking about because people be doing that. That happens all the time. People do that all
Yeah.
the time. Like, yeah, like you said, people just be dancing, having a good time, and just end up like making out with each other for like a minute. And it's like, no, like I need like me personally, I need to have somewhat of a connection with you and like really be feeling you, really like
Hmm.
you to do that. Otherwise, I'm not locking lips with you and I'm not going down on you either. Like we're not.
Well,
I'm
I think that falls into definitely like more intimate category. Um,
going what?
yeah,
Yeah, going down.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's
But
man, fella.
I think kissing is like casual. I mean, I think it's fun. Like we would when I before my last relationship, my friends and I mean, I worked at the bar. So I was a bartender, sold shots. So we knew everybody. Like we were heavily involved in the scene. I lived down the street. Like
Right.
so going out, even during the week or on the weekends, like it was a very common occurrence to at least like make out with somebody. Of course, there's like standards. There's standards,
Right.
but I've like kissed and made out with guys and not given them like refused to give them my number and just kind
Right.
of ran away, like just
Oh my god.
for fun. I don't know.
Man,
I
everyone
feel like
everyone is different, yo. I everyone is different. I respect it though. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
But
I
I mean, if
respect
they're like a bad kisser, then like I would stop and then laugh at them and then run away with my friends. So we were just like goofy. Like we would dance and then if a guy like came up to us and we'd like look at our friends, be like, is he cute? Like we'd look at him, be like, meh, walk away. Or if he is cute, or we'd even go up to guys and start dancing with them, or like I don't know. It's more of like a casual thing. It's like kind of dancing in my perspective. I mean, I
Well,
wouldn't do it if I was in a committed relationship. Like I
right.
obviously wouldn't, kiss somebody else and if I was in a committed relationship. But
Right. I respect it though. Okay. So Sam, when a woman cheats on a man, is it because she felt she wasn't getting something in her relationship?
so I can't speak from personal experience,
Yeah.
but
But
I
I
would
can.
say that's definitely one of the major reasons. Um,
And let me say
for
this.
sure.
I listen, I'm not saying women are incapable of cheating just to like physically cheat because they
Of
saw
course.
someone that was attractive. Like they're obviously capable of doing that. But I do feel, Sam, that like in exclusive relationships, I do feel like women in general are more emotional than men. Being that they're more emotional than men, I feel like in relationships, I feel like women are like even more loyal towards men. And because of that, I feel that most women, like I said, they're not incapable of cheating physically, but I feel that most of the time, if they are stepping out, they're stepping out because of something that they're not getting from their man that he may be
Hmm.
lacking in. I just feel like they cheat more emotionally than physically.
No, I completely agree with that. I mean, if you look at how women communicate, it's we are more emotional in, interpersonal relationship communication just across the board. Even with our friends, we're more emotional than men. So I can see how, if a girl starts talking to a guy, they start having like more of, cheating emotionally, how that will progress into physical.
Right.
And I do agree with that, but I also think maybe the guy isn't lacking anything. He could be like a great guy, but
Mm-hmm.
she's insecure. And she steps out because of her insecurities, which I think is another valid reason why girls do it, is because they don't think they're good enough for the guy they're with.
I agree. I agree, and hey, I can acknowledge, and I agree with you, Sam. But even Sam, with that being said, that's still more emotional than it is. I mean, that's emotional still, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And just how women are, how they communicate is more emotional. So I believe there's like 90% of the time going to be some sort of emotional reason
Yeah,
behind it. I
yeah,
mean,
I agree.
even if the man is lacking something physically, she's not just going to go out and around
Right.
and
That's what I'm
physically do
saying.
it. She's going to have a connection, but I think it's more of like a justification for the act, like if she's caught. Like, oh,
Right,
he's offering me this and you never offered that. But I think that
right,
kind of goes both ways. But instead of the girl being like, "Oh, you're not open enough. You don't make me feel special enough." It's going to be more of from the guy's perspective, "You don't give me enough physicality."
I agree.
So, yeah.
That'll more so be his cop out. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Sam. But Sam, let me and Sam, I know what your policy is on cheating, but I'm still gonna ask you.
Mhm.
Do you feel like a man can cheat on you and still love you?
Hmm.
Cause Sam, like I said, Sam, like we just said, woman, bro, it's probably 90% of the time that it's an emotional thing. Men, Sam, 90% of the time, probably even 95%, probably even 99% of the time, Sam, it's just a physical thing. That man is just that men are physical by nature. He saw Sam. He saw Sam to be very attractive. Sam was giving him choosing signals, and he bit the bait. But it's not like he's going to continue on that relationship with Sam. He's still gonna go back home to his girl. He's still going back home to his woman. It's like engaging in physical
Yeah,
activities
but
is
at
like takes
what
the piss from it.
cost? So it's he may think he loves her, but in actuality, love is sacrifice. Love is following the set guidelines and boundaries set by the other parties. So the fact that he still stepped out and was able to cross the boundaries and disrespect her, I think it does kind of show the lack of like truly, what love really should be. I
I
think today love is thrown around way too much.
Yeah, it
And I
is.
think real love is something that, no, I don't think you would cheat on someone you really, really love.
I agree with you. And Sam, like you said, I see it as more disrespect because like you said, you're crossing boundaries that you know you shouldn't be crossing, and you're
Hmm.
crossing boundaries that you know are like you know it's disrespectful, you know it's wrong, you know consciously that you shouldn't be doing it, but you did it anyway. So yeah, I'm not justifying
Yeah.
in saying that it's right, but like I'm just saying I do think for women that most of the time it's an emotional thing.
Hmm.
That's okay.
And I think it also kind of speaks volumes is the fact that they have to hide it because they know it crossed a boundary.
Right.
You know, if you know it crosses a boundary, why would you do that to someone you love? So now you have to hide it from them because you're what, scared of losing them? Well, if
Right.
you were truly scared of losing them, you wouldn't have done it.
Sam, I 100% agree with you.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the third one, Sam.
Okay.
If a woman doesn't invest in a man financially, she's not invested in him at all. True or false, Sam?
False.
Oh my gosh. Sam, please tell me how and why you think this is false.
I mean, you can support them in ways, but I don't. Why do you think it's true? Like, what is your definition of investment?
Sam, like, as Sam, there are men out here that are investing in women for and what's good, bro? There are women out here that are investing in or men out here that are investing in women that they're not even in exclusive relationships with. You know, Sam, me taking you out even on a coffee date or taking you out to a brunch, a lunch, a dinner, um, us going to Dave and Buster's, having a good time, us having 2-3 hours on a night out. Yeah, I'm spending time with you, but I'm opening my wallet. With men, we have to open our wallet in like all situations, and especially if we're in an exclusive relationship, Sam. If I'm not even expecting you to match me, I don't even want you to match me because, like I said, Sam, whoever I'm in an exclusive relationship with, I'm going to see them as my queen, and being that I see them as my queen, I'm going to treat them as such. Like you
Yeah.
know, it's
So
it's
I
it's
totally get
Christmas.
that perspective. I 100% agree. Like, I will not, like, if I'm just getting to know a guy, like, I'm sorry if this is old fashioned, but he's going to pay, you
Yeah.
know, just because I want to see him want to invest his time and money into me. If we're in a committed relationship, I don't have a problem paying for dinner, buying groceries, like doing things, paying for like a trip or something. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
a problem with that because and that is a financial and time investment. But
Right.
when it comes to like co-signing a car or an apartment, I'm not going to do that.
Hey,
I'm not going to put myself on the line in that way.
I respect that. I think that's a very intelligent and smart thing to do. I don't think like how you talked about marriage, Sam. Like unless like we like married or locked in like that,
Hmm.
I don't think either side should be like co-signing loans and
Yeah, no.
doing stuff like that because there's no covenant there.
No,
But
yeah.
all I'm saying, Sam, is show me you see how I'm pouring into you. I'm not even asking you to pour into me as much as I'm pouring into you, but just show me some inclination, give me some indication that you're thinking about me and that you do care about me. Cuz Sam, if you're doing all this giving and you're just not receiving anything back, even if and you're giving with a good heart, you're eventually going to come to a point where you're like, "Damn, I'm doing all this giving."
Hmm.
You're gonna come to a point where you're gonna stop and think like, damn, this person is not showing like giving
Hmm.
me like 0.2% of the 100% that I'm giving them. And
And okay, now look at it from this perspective. It's the
okay,
same thing emotionally from the girl's perspective. If the guy's unable to open up and to do things and to be emotional, she's going to feel the same way too. So I think that's a good perspective to have. I don't think it should ever be in any relationship, in any friendship, 100% and zero or
right,
even like 75 whatever.
yeah,
It's
I
and
agree
I'm
with
not
you.
saying it should be 50-50, but like there has to be some like give and take.
That's that, but Sam, that's all I'm saying, Sam. Sam, if you, Sam, And that's what I was telling another woman that I was talking to. We don't even have to be in an exclusive relationship. Like me and Sam could be super cool. And like Sam, if you're in a relationship with a man and he's only getting you something on your birthday, so out of 365 days a year, he's only getting you something materialistic one day out of those 365 days. I'm not basing a relationship like on money.
Hmm.
I'm not basing the relationship on materialistic items, but all of that is a part of the relationship, Sam. Like, imagine being with a man and he don't even get you a dandelion on Valentine's Day. Christmas come around, he don't get you anything. He doesn't randomly just get you gifts just like out of the love that he has for you. Now, what I'm saying, Sam, is if a man is doing that to a woman and he's not getting anything in return, Sam, I'm sorry, that woman is not interested in him. I know for a fact, Sam, that if you really care about a man, if a woman really cares about a man, she has no problem opening her pocketbook and, like you said, here, let me take you out tonight. You tell me to get ready, and you gonna
Of
take me out.
course. I
I'm gonna pay for
agree
this
with that.
trip.
I don't think that's a very one-sided relationship, and I don't think the woman is interested or in it for the right reasons. She might just be
Right,
using the guy.
right. But that's what I'm saying. Even if you're a woman, you were doing that to a man, and he was acting like how I'm saying the woman is acting right now. Aren't you gonna eventually? You're eventually gonna start feeling like, damn, I feel like I'm being used or something. Like you don't reciprocate not 1/10 of the energy that I give to you. You know what I mean?
Hmm. No, I totally get that, and I guess like what I view as an investment
Mm-hmm.
and investments to people are different.
Right.
So in like that circumstance, I don't know if I call it like an investment because I think that that should be a given in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think cuz like from the place of like a gift or planning to take someone out, those are all kind
Mm-hmm.
of acts of service and love
Right.
and those types of things.
Right.
So that comes from a place of, I care about someone, I want to make them happy. It makes me happy to see them happy. But when it comes to like an investment, it's more of like, oh, I'm trusting that whatever I'm investing in, I'm going to
You
get
gotta
a
get a return.
return,
Yeah, exactly. And
or
Sam,
you're not going to like mess me over.
Okay, Sam, let me ask you this though. Like I said, I agree with you. Co-signing loans, signing your name on stuff for on behalf of another person, I don't agree to that. I'm not advising anyone to do that. But Sam, let's say you and this person been locked in 2-3 years. Y'all have been great to each other. This man hasn't cheated on you, none of that. And he says, "Hey, yo, Sam, I'm thinking about starting a business, boo, and could you invest like 5K into me? Could you give me like 5 grand as part of like the funds to help start my business? Are you what's your thoughts on that, Sam? Because Sam, before you answer, like China Doll, and I know about China Doll, her story, and Renee was saying they they invested into their men in the past and they didn't get a return on their investment. So now they feel like they made a mistake. But what I'm telling them is, bro, but the initial reason that you invested in him is because you did love him, you did care about him, and you did want to see him succeed. If you would have got the return on the investment that you wanted to get, you wouldn't be sitting here saying that it was a mistake. Now, if you don't want to do that going forward because of the loss you took on your investment, I totally understand that
Mhm.
and respect that. But if you're not even willing to like make that investment, I don't know, Sam. I'm sorry.
So when I think of that, I think the investment is more of, I don't really think it has to do with love. I think it has to do with like your belief in that person or
Mm-hmm.
belief in what they're showing you. Because I don't
Mm-hmm.
think you have to be in love with someone to invest in them.
You don't. Yeah, you don't.
But like when it comes to like if you're starting a business, there are things that would have to be done for me to even consider investing that type of money. Even just like 5K, it would have to be like I need to see your business plans, your strategic
Right. Right. Yeah.
model. I have to see like and your strategic plan is going to include like everything you plan on doing and the growth of your company and how it moves forward for the next 5 years. So if that's not all mapped out, if you don't have things in check, like basically there's a lot of red flags when it comes to like starting a business and whatnot. Like if someone's main focus is like naming their business, or like, oh, I'm gonna have a business that does this. Okay, how? What are your plans? I need to see it on paper. I need to see you take the legitimate steps to
Sam,
get there, so I know what I'm doing is smart.
yeah, hey Sam, you're 100% right. You should not go into anything blindly, Sam. Like, this is what I went to school for. Yeah, you're 100% right. Like, so yeah, I'm not saying go into it blindly, but like you
Hmm.
said, you're gonna have to see a business plan. And like, Sam, the show Shark Tank. It's not about what your product or what you're planning to do, but like, okay, how are you going to be making money and like all that other stuff that you said. So yeah,
And like the potential.
right.
It's like the potential. It's like, so what are you starting? Like, what business are you starting? Like, is it really addressing a gap in the market where it can expand and do extremely well? Or is it just
Yeah,
another company that's, doing the
doing
same thing,
right. Yeah, hey Sam, we on page with this one. We on page. So it depends. It very you if like you said, if this person could articulate all these things well and it made sense, then yeah, I probably wouldn't have a problem doing it.
But
But
I would do it as like an investor. Like I would have contracts. Even if this is someone
oh,
I'm dating, there'd be contracts that say, okay, if I pay this much, I own X% of your company.
right,
Because if it does well, I'm going to continue to reap the benefits of
right,
my investment.
yeah, because you got equity in the company.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And if
we
it
agree.
doesn't do well, okay, took a risk.
We agree, Sam. Okay, Sam. Last question: are long distance relationships real, Sam?
I think they're real if there's a timeline and plans to, come together at some point in the future.
Thank you. That's Sam. I 100% agree with you. That's my whole thing. Sam is like, bro, y'all could be doing all the flying and going back and forth,
Hmm.
the FaceTimes, all the text messages, but I feel like if y'all really in an exclusive relationship and y'all really want to be together, y'all should eventually at some point be trying to get to a central location to be together, Sam. Like I just think that there's certain things that are required to like strengthen a relationship and nurture a relationship, Sam. Like
Well,
me
how
personally,
how can you move forward with somebody if you're not in the same location? And I mean, you can move forward in ways that are like, um, emotional. You can really get to know someone even from a distance, and that can work for a while. But if there's no set plans to, meet up in a central location and live your lives that way,
what are y'all doing?
then yeah, there's a fundamental step missing, because I mean, ultimately that's the goal.
He said, "Yeah, it would just be relations at that point." Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Sam. Like that should be the ultimate goal. Like, bro, what are y'all doing? Just doing all these flights back and forth and
But
all these FaceTimes and
even if you have like, I mean, flights and stuff are great as long as there's that set goal. Like,
yeah,
I get if someone has to, like with my last relationship, he got a job offer in Chicago. So
yeah.
he went. So we did long distance for about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And that really wasn't like the main issue in our relationship. But like there was one of the reasons why I ended it is he wanted me to move to Chicago. And I was like, no, I
All right.
don't see myself there. I don't want to plant roots there. We were both from Texas. Like, I see my future somewhere in the South. I prefer hot weather.
Right.
I would be miserable there. And I mean, at that point, things were so broken. I was like, no, I didn't go visit him once because of just how messed up things were. And
But
I don't think I genuinely loved him at that point. I think it was more of like a manipulation, kind of like
yeah,
bond.
yeah,
Yeah.
he wants you to come to where he's at. But let me ask you this though, Sam. Could you and be 100% honest?
Hmm.
Clearly, the distance, while it wasn't the end all be all, it played a part in the end of that relationship for you. But don't you think that if y'all were in the same vicinity, that even if the relationship, y'all had other stuff going on, y'all it probably could have been resolved better, and like, him just not being as far away as he was, things would have been different.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have gotten out. I don't know if I, because I was stuck in the type of, toxic cycle of, you know, trying my hardest to get this person I loved back to who he used to be when I fell in love with him. And just the cycle of him, actually doing what I ask, and then him, sooner than later repeating bad behaviors.
Mm.
Like the distance was a huge factor in why I was able to like call it off, because it does make a difference.
Thank you. That's all I'm trying
But
to.
I
That's
think
all.
it does make a difference. I mean, but it
Sam,
relationships can still
Sam,
be possible.
Sam, yeah, it can still be possible, but like you said, Sam, with those parameters, you need those parameters. But Sam, can and you this these like I said, I've been saying this to everyone. This is me, but Sam, for you personally, as far as strengthening and nurturing your relationship, when your man was in Texas and he was able to pull up on you, you were able to pull up on him. Y'all were able to cuddle. Y'all were able to go on dates. Y'all were able to hold hands with each other. Y'all were able to kiss. Y'all were able to sleep with each other. Didn't being able to do all of that on a regular, consistent basis? Can you agree that like strengthened your relationship and made your relationship better?
I think in a normal situation, yes. I think it actually made my relationship worse just because of like who that person was as a person. Um, but I do think that it can, but as long as you're like open and transparent, and you do take the time out of your schedule to fly out to see each other, plan trips, be together,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's still doable. But there has to be some point where like a serious conversation is, okay, what is our time frame? Like
Exactly.
if,
And in
you know,
addition to that, Sam, don't you
yeah.
think don't you think the trust needs to be there very much too?
I mean, even in a relationship where you're both in the same city, if there's no trust, then
Yeah,
there
it's
shouldn't be a relationship,
right,
like
right.
at all, because that just invites like a lot of bad, not even behavior, but
See,
just like treatment of
yeah,
the other person. So, I mean, especially in long distance, like trust is essential.
yeah,
But
I agree with
even then you can still have boundaries. And that's why like being transparent and open about, what you're doing, and just kind of like expectations. Like if I'm in a relationship with somebody long distance and he's like, okay, you can do whatever you want. I don't, I would prefer you don't hang out with guys like one on one, because there's no reason for it. If you could just tell me like where you're going, and who you're with, just so I know that you're safe, like that's easy. That should be something that can be done. But people
and
still struggle. I don't know.
yeah, but people still struggle on that. But then again, Sam, it's like Sam, if the trust is where it needs to be, like Sam, I don't even like Sam. Sam, I'll be 100% honest with you, Sam, and this goes both ways. If that is happening, Sam, bro, we might as well like just not like. Obviously, one of us is very insecure, so and justifiably so, because like I said, like Sam, when I'm not on the phone with you, when I'm not on FaceTime with you, as much as I want to trust that you're being 100% faithful to me, Sam, I don't know where you're at, what you're doing, who you're with.
Yeah.
Like, Sam, when people are in the same vicinity as each other, like I said, these things still happen, but the other person has to be way more strategic and move way more smartly and correctly in how they do stuff.
Hmm.
When you're thousands of miles away, I don't even have to think about you, yo. You're thousands of miles away. I can do whatever I want and, you know,
And avoid the
FaceTime you the next morning.
consequences like easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. But again, like in like I share my location with like everyone in my family, I share my location with like all my friends, and I would share my location with my significant other if we're in an exclusive relationship, and not
Mm-hmm.
for the sole purpose of them knowing where I am, like at all. That's not why I do it with anybody. It's more of like a safety thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I want people to see where I am and what I'm doing and how long I've been there and, XYZ. Like Life 360 is great, but it shouldn't be used for like tracking someone because you
Right.
don't trust them. It should be used as like a safety measure. And as a woman, I think that's very relevant to have and to just
100%.
leave on. Like, I don't ever turn my locations off. That's sketchy. That's not like, if I'm going somewhere, my friends and my family and my significant other, like, there should be no reason I'm hiding it. I mean, unless I'm getting like a birthday gift or something and I don't want them to know where like I've gone,
Right.
but like not for like malicious or like cheating type stuff.
Yeah.
So
All
that's
right.
kind of
Sam, we agree. We agree on a lot of these today for the most part.
that is true. I think I think even if like we don't agree, I don't know. I think there's some things that are kind of just like from like a logical perspective,
Yeah.
from more of like not an emotional perspective. Like I don't think going into like a debate or like a conversation should ever come from like an emotional place.
Motion.
Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Shouldn't.
it should. And I mean, even like the investing in someone, I don't think anyone should invest their money without doing some serious like considerations of
I agree with you, girl.
I think that's just a dumb move. And I
I
mean,
100% agree
I'm
with you.
not calling like anyone dumb
Yeah.
because,
But just the action is dumb. The action of doing that is dumb, though, Sam.
you just like leap over any risk assessment. Like, yeah, taking risks is a good thing. Like, that's how people make it big, like, get the big bucks, like, high risk, high reward.
Right.
But if you look at someone who's trying to like start a company and they have nothing on the table, that is a high risk, low reward because there's like 60 something percent chance at least that it's not going to work out.
Exactly.
Like these people are trying to go into business and not even know what a business actually is. Like, okay,
Right.
so are you planning on getting an LLC? I don't know what that is. Okay,
Right.
absolutely not. I'm not in. There's no way.
Right. They don't know what an LLC, an S
Like
corp, a C corp. They don't know any of
they
that.
don't
They
know
don't know nothing
any
about
like an
taxes.
LLC is like the basic like.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Sam.
it's sad because things like this should be taught, and I think in like high school.
Yeah, they should be. There's a lot of stuff that should be taught in grade school coming up that's not taught. Like, Sam, I know you and I didn't learn anything about buying a house or um taxes or any of that stuff in school. You
No,
and,
yeah, I didn't
and
even
if you
learn
don't,
like budgeting in school.
yeah, and if you don't try to study specific things in college, you're not going to know about it by going to college either. It's a lot of stuff that you just got to learn on your own for real.
Exactly. And I mean, even in college, it's like a lot of people don't learn. Like, I think business classes should be like a broad for everyone because certain parts of business you're going to run into in every industry. Like, people
Right.
need to know more about, benefits and
Right.
compensation from like
Right.
companies because
Right.
everyone is going to apply for jobs. I mean,
Exactly.
hopefully. And everyone needs to know what type of benefits they should be looking for, like 401k matching. People don't take advantage of things like this
Right.
or look for it when it's something that's like, this, you should do this, this should be almost a requirement.